Hey guys, welcome to
Spit and Image Podcast, baby.
with Chad.
And Aurora.
Why don't you guys go ahead real quick and hit that subscribe button and let's get going. What?
You're so funny.
Guys, welcome to the Spit and Image Podcast.
Hey, brothers.
Hey, brothers.
Brothers, we're spitting and imaging today because we're accidentally twinning.
Yeah. We
With
both
our
got
shirts.
the gray on. Can you do this though, Roar?
Oh, hell no. I actually can, but I'm not going to because that's pretty inappropriate.
Well, let's jump in, man. How you been?
Been good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll be hitting my 8 months of sobriety on Friday.
Nice. In 9 month, they call it the full term.
Yeah, I've been hearing that lately.
It's like pregnancy.
Yeah, like a pregnancy. Anybody carried a whole baby?
They also call the 18-month chip in Narcotics Anonymous, because only NA does 18 months. AA doesn't do 18 months.
No, I think they do now.
They call it the whiner chip.
I know they do. A whiner chip?
Yeah, like, you're whining because you can't go the whole year without getting a chip.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They did at HA.
So let's dive back in to the podcast.
We're diving in deep.
We're gonna talk a little bit about Justin today.
Yeah.
How'd you guys meet?
So it's a funny story. I think it's a pretty funny story, actually. So this was actually when I was like pretty deep in my addiction and you were still in your relapse. And I was with my friends Brittany and Asko, and they were...
Asko's not a name. It's one of those made-up names that people can do. She's had made-up friends her whole life.
It is... No, that's like his like street name, whatever you want to say. Like
Asko?
Yeah, Asko.
I'm an Asko.
It means like nasty in Spanish.
Okay.
He turns around any fucking ways. Anyways. So yeah, but I was like one of those people, like when I'm using, I don't want to be around other people. And they were trying to get me to go hang out with like his friends and like their friends. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want to. I just want to stay home. I don't want to go anywhere. And they were like, come on, like one of the guys there, he's got some meth. Like, why don't you come? And I was like, oh, well, if you put it like that, I guess I'll go. And so the guy that was there, I don't know if they thought that I would be like interested in this guy or something, but I totally like was not my type at all. Like, was not into him. We were at we went to this like skate park. And so that guy was like, oh, hell no, like, no. And then that's when Justin walked up to me and he was like, I can't even remember what the first thing he said. I think, well, because Justin goes by Sake. So I think he just said like, I'm Sake. What's your name? I was like, oh, I'm Aurora. And he was my type, obviously. He was like very like baggy clothes, like very like pretty green eyes, super skinny. And like, I don't know. He was just my type. And I just remember so we ended up hanging out later that day and he wanted me to stay with him, but my friends like wanted me to go with them. And I was just like, no, you know what? I think I'll stay. And so we walk up to his dad's house and he says, oh, if you stay with me, I'll give your friends a ride home. So we walk to his dad's house and he steals his dad's car and then takes my friends home and then takes me back to his dad's house. And then I just remember he was like, just wait out here really quick because I don't want my dad to like see you. And I was like, okay. And I'm like sitting out there, I probably looked homeless, like probably hadn't showered in like days and like just really like naughty hair and like just looked horrible. And then his dad comes out front and just looks at my ass and was like, oh, hell no. And then goes back inside and tells Justin who the hell did he bring to his house. And Justin, by the way, lied. He was like embarrassed that was his dad and told me it was his uncle. He lied. and said it was his uncle, and it was not. I found out that that was not his uncle. It was his dad. And yeah, and then I ended up, we just hung out and like chatted all night and probably did drugs together. And then I left and I ended up going to detox like not too shortly after that, and then going to rehab. And so we lost contact. We hadn't talked to each other in like probably a few months. We met in May of 2017 and probably didn't reconnect until like July or August of 2017. And I remember how we reconnected. He would just call me on Facebook Messenger all the time, and I had really bad social anxiety, and so he would call me just to be like, I'm going to call you every day so you can work on your social anxiety and you can like you learn how to talk to people. Even if you don't say anything, like at least just being on the phone with somebody will help you like learn to talk to people. And I was just like, okay, like that's fucking weird, but whatever. And then from that, we saw each other again and we were pretty much inseparable until I went to rehab again. And he thought I ghosted his ass. But I didn't ghost his ass.
When did I meet him?
You met him? You met him before I went to Louisiana, right?
I don't know.
I think you did. I think you met. I remember when you met him because you were sober, and we were all like in the pool at your house, and then you came and you shook his hand while he was like in the pool. I remember that's how you guys met.
I've been sober since June 9th of 2017.
Yeah, so it's probably like July or August of 2017.
But I was in rehab and on an ankle monitor.
Yeah, but you would still come to the house sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's when you met him. But then you shipped my ass.
I didn't like him. I'm just gonna, as a dad of daughters, and currently I have 2. I don't like any guy that they date. I mean, Gia hasn't like dated, but still, any guy you guys bring around, I don't like him.
Yeah, you've made that apparent. Really apparent.
And it's just how it's gonna be. They have to earn my respect and earn my me liking them. I didn't like Justin at all in the beginning.
Well, yeah, because we were like doing meth together.
And over time, he really grew on me,
I think, because you had shipped me off to Louisiana, and I was there for 2 months. Went to a sober living for 2 weeks until you guys finally let me come home.
We didn't let you come home. They kicked you out because Donna, your stepmom, was breaking the rules.
She let me hit her vape in the bathroom. And it was like, no.
And you weren't allowed to go in the bathroom with your child.
I was like
rehab.
16. I was 16, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, they were.
And
I got kicked out.
Yeah.
I thought you guys pulled my ass out.
No, I mean they basically said that Donna wasn't allowed to come back, and I told that, and I was like, well, you guys can fuck off then.
Oh yeah.
Because my wife's not giving her drugs.
Yeah, that's what they were like insinuating.
Who cares if you're hitting a vape?
Yeah, for real. And no, especially if you come from like the things I was doing, I think the vape is like the least of our problems.
I mean, they meant a real drug addict that day. Me.
You were sober.
I was sober, but I'm the real deal. I'm the real deal.
Yeah, I know. I haven't yet met a tweaker to top ya.
No, there's not a tweaker. There's alcohol. I've met an alcoholic that has the same disease that I do. And
stage 4.
And her stage 4.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
But like, here's the thing, man. Justin grew on me. I was in rehab. I got him sober.
Oh yeah, he went to your sober living.
Yeah, Donna's sober living. We got him sober. He was doing really well. He started driving me around, picked me up. He was on time all the time.
He got a ticket one time in your car and he never told you.
No.
He was on the way to pick your ass up, and he was racing some guy on the toll road, and the other guy like sped off, and the cop got Justin, but Justin was honest with the cop and just gave him a fix-it ticket for not having his license on him instead of giving him a speeding ticket.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what else?
What else? We had a great time together. I think I wouldn't be who I was or who I am if he wasn't in my life. He was a really big part of me and my story. I don't even know if I would have gotten sober, because he was also like my motivation too, because we really got sober together technically. Like when I got sober, he had gotten sober only a month after or even probably less than a month after I got out of treatment. And so we were sober together for a really long time. I have not actually put a needle in my arm or have done heroin since I went to Louisiana.
That's good.
And I think I've done other things in other ways, but like I feel like that's like pretty big. And I don't know if it would have gone down that way if it wasn't for him being in my life. I don't know if I would have continued on the straight and narrow, quote unquote.
Well, I wouldn't say you continued on the straight and narrow. I mean, I don't know what you're insinuating to the people that are going to listen to this podcast, but there's been no straight and narrow. And this is a place where we tell the truth.
Okay,
right?
but it was like not as bad. Okay.
Justin started drinking at some point. I don't know when exactly, but you could see when he started getting a real beer belly.
Yeah. I mean because I wasn't like shooting meth or heroin anymore. So like that was the straight and narrow for me at the time.
Yeah. But let's be clear so that people really understand what I mean, because at the beginning, I think you said you coming up on 8 months. So yeah. Justin's been dead for 2 years, 2.5 years already. And we're going to get into that. I think like next episode, if I can leave you with a cliffhanger, I want to, we're not done yet, but like, I really want to, dive into that day and let everybody know. But I think it's more important, like we should finish the rest of this podcast with letting people know how we saw Justin. I'm gonna tell you guys how I saw Justin is he grew on me, and he eventually became like a son to me, and that is why I call him my son-in-law. Even though Aurora and him were not married, he was truly Aurora's first love besides her dad. And my foot fell asleep. Gnarly. Didn't this happen last time?
Yeah, it did.
I gotta stop putting my foot right there when I'm doing this. But he was a good-hearted human being.
He became very hardworking.
Hard worker.
Waking up at like 5 a.m.
And like people, if you know me, you know that I'm a psychopath. Like, not just like in everything that I do. Like, I'm up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning every morning. Justin, I would watch him. They had a little apartment at the end above my garage, and I could see outside of the house when he would get in his car, and I'd be up, drinking my coffee in the morning as he was getting up and going to work. Even when he was struggling.
Yeah.
Even though he was drinking sometimes, and he was getting up and going to work every single day. Yeah. And I think that's why I never really stepped in, because at least he was doing that.
Yeah.
You guys had a crazy relationship. I mean, you're
psychotic.
Probably not the easiest person in the world to be in a relationship with. I don't know about now. Maybe you've grown up, but like, first loves or first relationships are are weird.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know even who you are. And I know it's different for other people. Like, you know, you look at Cooper and Carly, of course, they're not you and I.
Yeah. No.
You know, Cooper doesn't have like, he's much more emotionally stable than either one of us.
Yep.
And he's 19 years old.
Yeah. That's very true. This is very true. But when Cooper gets angry, he gets angry.
Yeah, but he's still, his little outbursts are nothing compared to like I'm not seeing you, you know, Donna telling me Aurora's outside naked beating on Justin, out in the driveway naked beating on Justin, screaming at him. Thank God our house is like gated. You know, it's like I want to be clear, she wasn't like out in just like a regular neighborhood naked, but
Well, I was not like butt ass naked. Like, was I?
just maybe like a thong on or something. It's like, man, your dad don't want to see that shit. But what I'm saying, what I want to get at, and what I want people to know about Justin is that, like,
Jesus Christ, outing me is wild.
he was. I mean, it's good shit.
Oh hell
That's
no!
what-
You're not making a reel of that shit, bro.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Fuck no.
And we're collabing on that one. She ain't gonna get another boyfriend again. She ain't gonna get another boyfriend again.
No,
All
some
you
guys
have-
might think that's hot. A naked girl beating on them, like what?
Not the type that comes around my house.
Oh fuck.
You attract what you are.
Oh man,
So
I don't beat on people anymore.
But Justin was, you know, he was kind in at the core.
Yeah.
You know, we all have a lot of self-esteem issues and stuff like that, and you know, I could see all of his. He wanted to be a tough guy, but he really wasn't. You know.
He's a teddy bear.
Yeah, you know, I miss him. He,
too.
I'm gonna tell you guys where he gained my respect the most. Not the start where he started gaining my respect was the fact that he showed up to pick me up on time, every time. He, without me asking, he started taking out the trash every Thursday night. And I don't know what got him to do that or how that came about, but it was nice.
I think he just felt like he was living at your house and he should be contributing in some way.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard him rolling out the trash barrels, I was like, is he taking out the trash right now? Do I not have to do it? It's one of my, I hate taking out the trash. And like,
wait, don't the gardeners take it out
No.
now? Yeah, they do.
no, they don't.
You take it out?
Yeah, every Thursday night. And I yell at Justin and I cuss at him. No, I did for a while. I was really upset. Like when I would take out, I would cry sometimes when I was taking out the trash. I don't cry as much anymore because like I've done a lot of crying, and I just feel like I'm able to communicate with him whenever I want, anyways. You know, and however that is, I just, you know, I talk to him. I talk to him when I have to do stuff for the Hopeaholics and I'm nervous or whatever. I tell him to, you know, you look, man, this is on you that I'm doing this, and that you need to be here and help me to not screw this up. Like I tell him shit like that.
Yeah. I don't cry as much anymore either. It happens like randomly. But like even when I was in Kentucky, like I would tell them like the only time I would ever cry like would be if I had to like talk about Justin. Like they did this whole grief ceremony and I wrote a grief letter and a men's letter to him because I held on to so much guilt for so long. Like I've talked about this before on when we first did the podcast. Like I have so much guilt for like so many things that I did, and neither one of us were perfect. Justin wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. But like sometimes like people do fucked up shit. And like I had a really hard time like accepting the things that I had done to him. Like even though I knew like he forgave me for everything that I have ever done, I still had a hard time forgiving myself. But I think that was one of the best parts of like Kentucky, was being able to write that amends letter and having people that I felt I could trust around me to be there for me in that situation. It was hard.
Yeah, I think the hardest person to ever forgive is yourself. Like, I still, I hold on to guilt and shame of, you know, abandoning you when you were 14. And that's the worst part of it for me, because it was one thing when Kelly and I were still married and you at least had a family and other people. But after drug court, when I relapsed, it makes me upset with myself. And there's a lot of other things in my life that I've done a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And I sometimes look in the mirror and I'm just so mean to myself.
Yeah.
Even though I know that I'm not that person anymore, I also think that too, though, it's good to have some of that stuff, because I hold on to that as a reminder to never do that to people again.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, I think it's okay to have some guilt and some shame,
The healthy shame.
at your core being, because like it keeps you from repeating those behaviors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you see Justin? As kind of like my question to you, that like how do you want people to see Justin? Because most of the people, like a lot of people, watch the Hopeaholics because of Justin, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know who Justin is.
Yeah.
They've
I wish it makes me sad sometimes, because I feel like the pictures you guys even see, or even the videos, like don't really do justice of like,
They don't do Justin justice.
they don't do justice for him, because like some of the pictures you guys post, you'd be doing him dirty. You'd be doing him dirty like you'd be doing me dirty with those fucking pictures. But like he was not only a gorgeous person on the inside, but also on the outside. And he would give the shirt off his back to anybody in need. And he took care of me. He took care of me and was there for me. And knew me in ways that nobody else ever has, or maybe ever will. Because he saw firsthand things that I've gone through, or just whatever it was, he was always there firsthand. And so I don't know, he was resilient, hardworking. His smile would like just light up a room fully. He was funny as hell. We would always be laughing. Like I have some videos of him. He's like such a dork, bro. He's such a dork, but I think that's why we got along so much. But he was also like deep at his core. He had a lot of emotion, and he was just a raw person. He had a deep soul. And I think that's where the addiction came in. It was all that depth can be hard to deal with sometimes. And sometimes drugs can shut that part down and make you obviously not feel. And so I think that was his fault, obviously, but he's just the most amazing person I've ever known, and probably ever. He was loyal. I could say that. He was loyal to his bones for anybody in his life that he loved. And that's what I can say about him.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's a good spot to end, and we'll next episode, we're going to dive into 9/11 of 2022, which is probably a tough day for both of us because that's the day that Justin died, and our lives were changed forever.
Yeah.
See you next week.